So obviously, one of the biggest things going right now is a lot of people think Xbox will end up getting out of the console business. I have to admit that's kind of a worry of my own as well. So, going forward, it's something that I'm very wary about. I think, Microsoft has quite a bit going for itself in terms of games finally. It's a shame to see how the situation has kind of steamrolled in the hardware space, though, right? I mean, whenever you see Satya Nadella talk about hardware, or Phil Spencer, they only talk about growth in PC market and cloud market. They never talk about the console. I mean, obviously, their console isn't growing at all in that market, in the space, but it does make it one of those things where we're kind of just wondering what the future can kind of hold from that. For me anyway, I look at this as not being very good news across the board, and I want to get right into it because I'm always curious to hear what you guys all think about this stuff going forward. Let's get started. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, with yet another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it. I'm looking for people to like the videos. I know that, it's just one of those things. I do daily content. So some people like that, and, I put some effort into it, and I try to make sure that it's fun and entertaining. So make sure you guys go ahead and, like the videos. It really does help, believe it or not. So anyway, according to this, which I'm going to link, Microsoft is reducing the number of Xbox Series X consoles sent to Brazil. We've also seen various other stories throughout the last 6-12 months where Microsoft was reducing the number of consoles sold. People are having a hard time finding them. Some people are kind of trying to theorize that maybe it has to do with them winding down this generation to kickstart the next, but I can assure everybody you wouldn't wind it down right now, especially even if you were going to launch something in 2027. That's 2 years from now, almost 3 years from now, right? It would probably be a holiday, so you would have to get through all of 2026, all of 2027 to get to the holiday, and the rest of this year, which just started. So almost 3 full years. You're not going to pull your stuff from that particular standpoint. But anyway, according to this, Microsoft will suspend the sales of the Series X console as 2 official stores confirmed that Microsoft has no longer been restocking the Series X model in Brazil. Microsoft, in response to media's questions, made a very interesting statement, and I quote, "Players will be able to continue enjoying their console in different countries, and players in Brazil will be able to play on their current consoles, PCs with Game Pass, and on smartphones, tablets, or TVs with Xbox Cloud Gaming." So, again, there are import taxes and things like that at play with this, but I have to be very honest about it. Sony and Nintendo also pay the same taxes, and they aren't pulling their platforms out of, Brazil. So, it's a very, very interesting situation, to say the least. And, again, it's really, really, really bad, the way that this has kind of come about. Obviously, Microsoft is actually not really sending much in the way of, of consoles to a lot of places right now. You know what I mean? And that's a real problem to kind of think about. Obviously, Microsoft is going to kind of do things and march to their own drum or whatever the case may be. But this is big news. I mean, obviously, this is the way I've looked at it. So, listen, I know some people are like, well, they've already said they're going to make, more consoles, and that's great. But you have to do more than just make the consoles. You have to realistically have a console that you're fully backing, right? And that's, I think, the big problem that Microsoft is facing right now, is that it doesn't feel like they're really backing the platform. So let's say they come out with a new console in a few years or whatever. If you're not going to 100% launch it everywhere, make it a big thing, and make a big deal out of it, then what is the point? Because if you don't make it a big deal, why would developers make it a big deal? And I think that is the problem that they really kind of face in an uphill battle, because yeah, right now, like, small developers and mid-sized developers might be skipping Xbox, but in the future it could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we have to kind of understand, and kind of come into our own, when it comes like this kind of stuff. I think honestly, like, Microsoft have made some bad choices when it comes to this kind of stuff. And when we look at Xbox, like, we can also look at hardware sales, and they were rough for January. Everybody was down, but Xbox was down 50%. So again, this is really, really rough. Thankfully, I think the Switch 2 should help. Obviously, stuff like GTA 6 coming out should be able to help in the long run as well. But for right now, it's just, we're in a really weird kind of flux situation with gaming, and I'm hoping that we can get everybody kind of up to speed, and at the end of the day, Microsoft can do something to stimulate people to have interest back in the Xbox. That's what they need to do more than anything, I believe. And the way we kind of look at this, the way I'm looking at it, this is not a good thing. I know some people will try to spin it or whatever. There's no real way to do that. You're sending less stock. That's never a good sign. Again, so like, a lot of this stuff has seemed really kind of reminiscent of the Sega Dreamcast. And what I mean by that is, because I lived through that, which is, one of those things where, Sega was like, okay, well, they stopped production on the console for a while, and then they never started it back up. And I've already seen things like that where, there's been rumors and things like that where they stopped factory production of, the Xboxes and things like that for the time being, because, they have too many of them out. When you're only selling, let's say they had produced, 6 or 7 million one year, and then last year they only sold like less than 3 million. So you have that surplus. Do you really need to start up creating, making more consoles again? I think that's probably the situation, and that's actually kind of a common thing to occur. You just have to wonder, is there ever going to be a situation where they are going to start production up again? That could be the real big question. And obviously, since they are doing these types of things, honestly, they're in a really rough spot because of the lack of exclusive content. That's something that's really, really going to hurt them going forward, because obviously people are going to understand kind of what's happening there or whatever. So again, sky isn't totally falling. Obviously, if you have your Xbox, you're set for right now. We're just going to have to wait and see if that's going to be continuing to be the plan for Microsoft, like what the plan is going forward. We'll see. I hope that things can kind of be able to really kind of get in line for this thing. Like, maybe they have a good plan for the future or whatever. I would hope so. At the end of the day, it really kind of comes down to what you offer, fans and things. And that's, I think, the thing that people have to kind of remember, is that it's not really so much what Microsoft wants, despite, like, no matter how many people really think those type of things. At the end of the day, it really kind of comes down to what the fans want, what the people who are spending the money want. That's realistically where this kind of all thing, the line is drawn right there. So if fans want something, then, if you're okay with only having, cloud or PC or whatever, then hey, more power to you. But if you're somebody that actually wants, a console, and you like the actual Xbox, then I think, it's one of those things where you have to fight for it a little bit. You're going to have to. So hopefully that's something that you guys can kind of understand about me, and kind of understand how this is kind of happening. I hope for the best. I hope that, it's one of those things that we keep seeing growth in the Xbox market. We need the competition. We'd love to kind of see that happen again. you know, at the end of the day. So let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feel about this? Are you a Brazilian Xbox gamer? You know, I've also gotten lots of like reports from like various places in the Middle East that stopped stocking Xboxes. A lot of places in Europe as well. It doesn't sound good. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.